On this episode of the Best of Bias, you got your boy. We back. It's just me this time. I know you guys are disappointed. Y'all ran up those last couple of videos. I appreciate that. You guys enjoyed the episode with the guests on it, and I see what's going on. So I'll continue to bring guests on to get you guys kind of like more ingratiated and interested in what's going on over here. I know you guys are tired of me rambling on by myself, but today we got plenty of stuff to talk about. Super Bowl just passed. A lot of stuff happened in the Super Bowl. The football season's over now. You know what I'm saying? We went through all the weeks. You know what I'm saying? Weeks 1 through 18, every playoff week. And now we concluded with the Super Bowl. So we're going to talk about that. Rihanna was at halftime. We'll talk about Rihanna's performance. We'll talk about some of the pre-performances as well. Super Bowl commercials. And then we'll talk about free agency a tiny bit. It's a lot of moving quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks are supposed to be going to new teams and stuff like that. So we'll see what's going on with that. Drake summoned the court for the XXX extension case. That is kind of weird. We'll talk about that as well. Ice Spice and Glorilla having bad times out on the town. You know what I'm saying? There's some stuff happening with them. Busta Rhymes throwing drinks on people. And then we get a little more serious when we talk about East Palestine and the train derailment and all the chemicals that are in the air over there. Kissimmee, Florida is kind of dealing with the same thing. A factory caught on fire over there that just exuded a whole bunch of chemicals into the air and shit like that as well. And then we have these Chinese air balloons. So we're just going to all put that together, talk a little bit about what's going on politically, talk a little like that. And then we're going to, get a little silly at the end with the red boots. These Astro Boy red boots. You get your pair yet? Did you get your pair yet? I don't know. We'll talk about that, a little bit about fashion, and we'll wrap it all up with Ant-Man. It's coming out this weekend, so I'll be talking about what to expect. What I'm expecting, because I'm seeing it on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the last or first movie of Phase 5. So we're getting ready to see what's going on and what's going to be happening for the next couple of stages of Marvel. Marvel. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. So I'm going to talk a lot about that as well. But it's the Best of Bias podcast, episode 152. It's me by myself, but don't fret. I bet you it's going to be the best episode you ever heard. It's the Best of Bias podcast. Let's get to it. Yeah. It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast with Lydell Dinero and Hugo Twilight.
What's up, everybody? What's up? Episode 152, counting down 152. We getting up there, man. We've been doing this for a while. I'm happy that you guys are back on this beautiful Friday. It's your boy, Lydell Dinero. It's just me today. Don't be too mad about it, man. I saw y'all run those videos up last week. Keep doing that. Keep the spirit alive. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to be consistent for y'all. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's an exciting episode, though. It's just me by myself. You feel me? But yeah, let's get right into it. The Super Bowl, man. This football season's over. NFL season 2022-23 season's over. And we all watched the Super Bowl this past weekend. So I just wanted to see what you guys thought about that. You know what I mean? The Chiefs did end up winning the Super Bowl. Score doesn't really matter, but Chiefs did win the Super Bowl. It was an interesting game through and through. I didn't get the stats ready for you guys. I should have got the stats ready for you guys, but it was a wild game. Me personally, I didn't know who I was really going to go for. Because I didn't really have any, like I said, any vested interest in it, really. I didn't really want the Eagles to win due to the fandom. Turning on social media, everybody was an Eagles fan. Also, when it came to like Patrick Mahomes, this man's always winning. So it's like, maybe I want some spontaneity or some variety in the league. Let somebody else win. He went to 3 of the last 4 or 4 of the last 6 Super Bowls. It's just a lot. He won. I get it. So hopefully this year he can rest on his loins now and just let some other people take over and do some good shit. But right now, you can't hope for the Buccaneers to win anything because they blew it all the way around no matter what. Hold on 1 second, guys. So yeah, Super Bowl. The score, Chiefs won 38-35. It was a crazy game. Like I said, we all thought in the beginning of the game the Eagles were going to win because they got to a really good start. Like first drive, They were able to score. Jalen Hurts had a great game, a legendary game. This is the best performance from a quarterback that lost the Super Bowl probably ever. Jalen Hurts went 27 for 38, 304 yards, one touchdown passing, but he had 3 rushing touchdowns, which was kind of crazy. 15 carries for 70 yards and 3 touchdowns. Me personally, I think the Eagles would have won the game if Jalen Hurts didn't really fumble and have the Chiefs get that scoop and score to take it all the way back to the house. I think without that play, I think the Eagles would have, held serve and would have been able to win the game. But you know what I'm saying? They didn't do enough. I mean, the receivers really got off though. Devontae Smith went 9 targets, 7 catches for 100 yards. AJ Brown with 8 targets, 6 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. Dallas Goedert was going crazy in that game. 7 targets, 6 catches, 60 touchdowns. Goddamn, 60 yards, but I don't know. I guess it wasn't enough. I mean, the running backs didn't really show up like they're supposed to. I have to give the Chiefs defense credit because they played way better than I expected them to play. No way in hell did I think they'd be able to shut down Miles Sanders and Gainwell and Scott like they, they're running through everybody throughout the season and in the playoffs, early, even though they play the lower seeded teams. It's just, I thought they would be able to have their way and do what they wanted to do, but it ended up being the Chiefs offense and their running backs that were able to do more with less. Patrick Mahomes with a hurt ankle went 21 for 27, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco 15 for 76 and a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes even rushed himself with a bad ankle 6 times for 44 yards. It was crazy. Jerick McKinnon 4 for 34 had one of the most heady plays in the game where he almost could have scored a touchdown, but he slid early at the 2-yard line so that they didn't give the Eagles a chance to score and match the touchdown. Receiver wise, Travis Kelce went 6 for 6, 81 yards and a touchdown in a perfect game. God damn. Juju Smith-Schuster 9 targets, 7 catches, 53 yards. Yeah, man, they just showed up. The Chiefs showed up, man, took advantage of every opportunity they had. The Eagles pass rush kind of just disappeared, man. All season they're heralded as one of the best pass rushes probably ever. 78 sacks between, I think that was the most of any team ever in the NFL or some shit like that. So, and their DBs are supposed to be shut down. Had some vets at Darius Slay out there, James Bradbury, a whole bunch of guys, Gardner Johnson, a whole bunch of guys that are supposed to hold down the back end and were supposed to be so good all season. But they, got ate up. Some of the plays that the Chiefs ran were just so smart. Like some of those in and out plays from the running back coming out the backfield or the receiver coming out the backfield, faking it in and cutting back out. Oh my gosh, that play got them twice for touchdowns. Yeah, it was crazy because the corner would try to go in motion with the receiver and he would just cut back and go the other way. It was just wild. Had them on their toes. You guys know the play I'm talking about. It was just a wild game. Personally, 38 to 35 is way too high scoring. I expected a lower scoring game. It's probably one of the highest scoring Super Bowls I've seen. But man, kudos to Patrick Mahomes. He did win MVP in this game. There was a penalty that was called that kind of gave the Chiefs the advantage that the Eagles fans are saying that determined the game, but I don't think it necessarily determined the game. James Bradbury was holding on to Juju Smith-Schuster on a out and up route. He got beat a little bit, so he tried to grab Juju Smith-Schuster to kind of gain leverage to get in front of him, so Patrick Mahomes wouldn't throw it to him. Supposedly, he got away one of those in the middle of the game that it wasn't called, but they did call the one with a minute and a half to go in the game, which gave Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs a first down in the red zone, and they were able to end the game essentially with that. People are complaining about it, saying that the refs should have held onto the flag and kind of, not blew whistle in that instance. But I mean, if the player did it once, he got away with it. If you do it a second time and trying to prove or try to get over on the referees, they're going to call it on you, man. No matter what. Referees, you can tell this season in NBA and NFL don't care about reputation. They'll just kind of throw a flag and don't give a fuck about it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That'll be the only cuss word I say this whole pod, I promise. Well, I'm gonna try. But yeah, this kind of just adds to the legend of Patrick Mahomes. He's so young, 27 with 2 Super Bowls, 2 MVPs, and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. It may just be 1 MVP, but yeah, still, either way, that's a legendary. He's been only in the league for 6 seasons, so that's kind of legendary. So he's going to be in talks with Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, any of the greats coming up at a young age, you know, because his trajectory is so crazy right now. You know what I mean? So big ups to Patrick Mahomes, man. I can't hate the name. It's all in the name, you know. And his dad comes out saying he's smoking the Eagles pack. It's so crazy. And it's so, and me personally, the fanfare at Super Bowl is so crazy because it's probably majority, especially the celebrities that were there, probably all Eagles fans just acting an ass. So like some of the richest people there were all supporting the Eagles, and it's to see them lose like that. It's kind of crazy to me. It's funny. It is funny because they thought they had it in the bag. But Patrick Mahomes said, "Nah, it's not like that." Him and Travis Kelce said, "We in the Hall of Fame already. We just gonna add to our legacy." You know what I mean? And also to add to the Eagles' sorrow, their defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator got taken to be head coaches of two teams. I think the offensive coordinator went to Arizona to be the head coach, and the defensive coordinator went to the Colts to be the head coach. So, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season for the Eagles next year. Jalen Hurts, man, you know how I feel about him. Even though he lost this game, I know he's gonna come back even better next year and learn from it. Even some of the shit that he was saying in the post-game interviews, when they were asking him about how he felt losing, he just gave gems. And this man is wise beyond his age for sure. And yeah, man, though he might have lost this year, I don't know if he may be back next year. The Eagles are still gonna be loaded next year. Who knows? He's still on a rookie contract, so I think they can still build. And they have draft picks too, so they can do some stuff there. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Let's talk about the opening song. So Chris Stapleton, first of all, I never heard Chris Stapleton before. He killed the national anthem. Man, one of the best I've ever heard. Babyface, America the Beautiful. It was cool. It was cool, but you always, you know, it's always good to see Babyface out there looking like grown face. And then we had Cheryl Lee Ralph out there singing "Lift Every Voice." She did it. She did a great job too. Dual talent, singing and acting. She's great. I liked all the performances and all the songs that were sung beforehand, even though, you know, no disrespect to the songs. I just try to kind of get to the game. You know, I'm ready like when the time hits for the Super Bowl to start, let's get the national anthem and then coin toss. We ain't got to do 5 songs. We ain't got to represent everything. I know it's probably for a good cause, but gosh darn, maybe spread it out a little bit. We trying to get to the game. If it's a 3:30 start, let's start at 3:30, not 4 o'clock, not 3:45, because you got to sing hella songs and then remix the songs while we singing them. This is just, it gets a lot. But halftime performance, I heard a lot of the ladies that were watching the Super Bowl saying that there's a football game being played at the Rihanna concert. You know what I mean? Yeah, people weren't really interested in the game. They really wanted to see, well, girls anyway. A lot of the women that I were around were really interested in seeing Rihanna's comeback performance, and the performance was pretty dope. I like the performance. I just liked seeing Rihanna out there, no matter if it was kind of underwhelming or not. It was a little underwhelming to me, though she came out in the sky, which was pretty interesting, her being pregnant and all that. But that was the big reveal, her being pregnant with her second baby, and that was very interesting to me, man. I just feel like it was a really hyped up performance. I thought a lot of shit was gonna go down. Damn it, no, another curse word. A lot of stuff was gonna go down, and a lot more was gonna be done, but I guess they really couldn't because she was pregnant and kind of had to, you know, keep it limited. But the dancers were getting off, all 1,000,000 of them. I heard they were supposed to be sperm. I don't know why, but it was cool, man. I liked it last year a lot better because I felt like we got a lot more surprises and we're already looking for, oh, what's next? How this person gonna do? There's a lot of different people in there and got to, you know, sometimes it's kind of bad because they don't really get to go through their whole catalog. But Rihanna, I did like hearing her on stage and go through the catalog of her music, but she also played songs where if the person came out with her to perform, like a lot of the people do on the Super Bowl, the people would have been going crazy. She played a whole bunch. I know Kanye couldn't be out there because of his drama right now, but she played a lot of Kanye produced songs, a lot of songs with Jay-Z in them, some songs with Drake in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she, you know, she did her thing, man. I'm proud of her for doing that, coming out there and being able to perform pregnant and you know, didn't look scared at all being elevated 60 feet over the crowd or nothing like that. So that was pretty dope. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll put that in my top 3 of halftime performances or anything like that, but I still do appreciate her being out there and being able to do her thing, and us getting getting to see Rihanna for probably one of the last times, because her being pregnant on stage kind of told me that okay, she about to be in super baby mode. Her business is popping, her lingerie and her makeup and stuff. So she don't necessarily need to do music. Since she didn't drop any new songs, I was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be her last performance and the last probably the last little bit of music gonna get from her for a long while, because she gonna raise these kids and do her makeup. She got $1 billion industry out. I mean, $1 billion business over there. So yeah, she don't need to do music. And she was kind of telling everybody, yeah, I'm pregnant. Look what's going on here. You ain't getting no album no time soon. I did a little Black Panther song for the movie, but yeah, that's about it. But yeah, pretty much I appreciated it. It was cool. I know a lot of people in the media kind of didn't like it. A bunch of talking heads out there like Donald Trump and Howard Stern and people making fun of it. It's just that's kind of wild. These people nowadays will do anything for clout, kind of just talking shit about people that people like a lot, just to try to garner a reaction and try to get people to talk about you. They probably don't usually talk about you much, but yes, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It was really hyped up. I'm not really disappointed at all. It is what it is. Your performances are really limited. You can't really cuss at these things either, and you can't really be provocative because of the whole Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake thing. So you kind of just gotta make it do what it do. But it's whatever. I appreciated it. During the commercials, though, we got to see a couple of things that I was super interested in. A couple of trailers, to be exact. Starting with the Flash trailer, I messed with that big time. Yeah, the Flash trailer, because I was really interested in what the DCU was going to do. This is a DCEU movie because it was made before James Gunn came aboard. So I was really interested in see what the movie's going to be about. They left it in and didn't scrap it, so I felt like they at least thought it was going to be somewhat good for them to be able to keep the movie. Um, so yeah, I'm really happy about that. The trailer was dope. I don't know how I feel about Two Berries being in the whole movie. That's gonna be a little weird, but I do like the fact that we're seeing multiple Batmans. We're seeing Batfleck, Ben Affleck as Batman, and we're also seeing Michael Keaton's Batman, which is one of my favorite Batmans personally. And we're seeing, a lot of Batman scenes. People are saying it's a Batman movie with Flash in it, but I don't think it's going to be that. I think he's only going to be in so much, like a little bit of the movie, and they're giving you that right now. That way, you kind of expect it to be hella Batman, but it's going to be really Flash. Me personally, I think Flash is going to go and reset the universe because he's already going. If you saw the trailer, going back in time to try to save his mom. You know what I mean? And I think in this instance, when he does that, he's going to go to an alternate universe where Michael Keaton is the Batman. And we saw in the trailer also that there's no metahumans at all in this universe. So we saw Zod come over and try to take over the world. We see a super girl in this one, and it's not super man. So it's an interesting universe that they're going to go in. And I personally am ready to see it. Michael Keaton back in action. Ezra Miller, again, I've talked about it on the podcast, is in hot water for a lot of shit that he's doing in his personal life. So it's interesting that this movie actually got to keep going. But man, I'm excited to see it. Excited to see what Easter eggs are going to be in it. I heard that there's going to be a George Clooney Batman appearance too. So if that happens, even though Batman and Robin wasn't one of the best Batman movies, I like that shit a lot. Batman and Robin with young Clueless as Batgirl. Yeah, I liked it a lot, but a lot of people didn't. But I'm excited for that one. And we also got to see another trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We got like 3 trailers for this already, but I mean, it's giving us more and more hints of what the movie may be about. We see the High Evolutionary as the main bad guy. If you guys saw Peacemaker, he was I forgot what his name was in Peacemaker, but he was in Peacemaker. He did a really good job in Peacemaker, but he's the High Evolutionary in this one. I think his whole thing is he like cross genetically kind of like creates monsters and animals to try to be like apex humans or creatures that to his liking. So he just kind of randomly does shit and kidnaps people and tests on animals and shit to kind of try to achieve that goal. And that's why we get Rocket. You see little previews of Rocket as a kid and him getting grabbed by the High Evolutionaries workers and him getting turned into the Rocket he is now. We also see Gamora again. She's back, but she's not the same Gamora. We saw that in Endgame. But this Gamora, I guess they're probably going to eventually, her and Peter are going to end up getting together at the end. He's going to remember, or she's going to remember him after all. But I think a lot of people are going to die in this one. Drax, Dave Bautista kind of famously said he's not coming back to play the role anymore. He's tired of painting himself that color and having to be in apex shape like that to play the role. I just think he wants to go on to do other movies, but it's going to be his last role. Rocket may die. The Guardians of the Galaxy, I think a lot of them are going to die, actually. Peter Quill may die. I don't know if they should kill him off, but I feel like he's going to come back as a character in the DCU with James Gunn. So I think they got something in the works over there for him. But even if they don't necessarily die, it's going to be the last Guardians movie for a while. They're going to leave them back in phase 4 probably, and we're going to move on. I know they're going to keep Adam Warlock, who's in the movie, who's just getting introduced. He's going to start off as a bad guy who's probably going to turn into a good guy eventually towards the end of the movie once they defeat the High Evolutionary and shit like that as well. So it looks really good. I'm excited to see it. It's coming out like in May. I want to say May 5th on Cinco de Mayo, but I'm not too sure. If it's a Friday, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think it is coming out that day. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch many commercials. There was like a lot of weird ones out there. They didn't hit as much as they usually do for the Super Bowl. I saw that Logan Paul and KSI, their Prime commercial got in there for the Super Bowl. I see y'all paying the millie to get on the Super Bowl commercial. That's what's up, man. That's a really big move. That's a really big move right there. But speaking of moving, man, I'm the transition guy. The football season is over, but there's a lot of moving parts still before the draft is happening. There's a lot of quarterbacks on the move, starting with Derek Carr. He's been cut. Aaron Rodgers is talking about being traded. Jimmy G, the Niners are going to let him go and want to trade him. Lamar Jackson may be traded. Justin Fields may be traded. There's a lot of stuff happening out there, and there's a lot of talk going on, a lot of speculation, but I don't know. I think the veteran quarterbacks will probably be better this year or to have for next season than the young rookies coming out this year. I think the young guys coming out this year may need a year or so to develop. I know Bryce Young is hella small. What's my other guy's name? Will Levy. He's a project for sure. CJ Stroud. I think he may be the almost most ready to play, but he's still kind of small as well. So I think he still will need some time. And all these guys will get taken early by the teams that don't really have a developed team anyway. So it'll be kind of a lot of growing pains for these guys. So these quarterbacks that I just listed may find new homes and take a team over the top that may not have been good last year. Derek Carr going to the Jets. Derek Carr going to the Saints. Derek Carr going to the Bucks. We don't have a quarterback right now. I know we're going to probably be trash next year because of the holes we have in the $25 million cap hit that was left when Tom Brady retired. Thanks, Tom. There's a lot of stuff going on. Jimmy G might be the best bet for us, but he still might be too expensive. It's interesting to see if Jimmy G is actually going to go somewhere this year because the 49ers have to make a choice themselves. They want Brock Purdy, they want Trey Lance, they want Jimmy G. They want to take one of these guys that I'm talking about on this list, try to get Aaron Rodgers, try to get Derek Carr. You know what I'm saying? It's been like a rotating door for them at quarterback as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Lamar Jackson, they don't want to pay him over on the Ravens. They just got Todd Monken from Georgia, the offensive coordinator for them. So maybe he will be enticed to stay there with the new offensive coordinator. But who knows? I mean, I heard a lot of stuff about him maybe being traded to Miami, to Atlanta. So somewhere he prefers to be. And him over there, I'm sure they'll give him the money without even questioning it. So it's going to be interesting to see what these quarterbacks do. And even Justin Fields. I mean, the Bears have the #1 pick, and they're shopping Justin Fields because they don't think he has, potential to be a quarterback who can throw the ball downfield or who can do a lot of shit on the field that a lot of these quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, some of the guys that we see actually doing stuff right now can do. And I think that's kind of unfair, but I don't know. The asking price for Justin Fields is probably going to be astronomical, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to afford it. And if I was the Bears, I would just keep Justin Fields, take the top defender on the board, and then go get some receivers, get some weapons and linemen for him. Don't just give up on him because he was going crazy a little bit. I mean, you guys got the #1 pick, so he wasn't going too crazy. But I just kind of feel like if you support him and give him what he needs before he hits that 5th-year contract, while he's still cheap, you guys will be able to get some stuff together. But see, I said stuff that time. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. Yeah, man, don't give up on Justin Fields. I think that'll be a mistake because all we got is 3rd round or 2nd round Kyle Trask, who they say is a slow learner. If you can't learn behind Tom Brady, the best quarterback of all time, for 2 years, I think you're not the quarterback for us. So it's gonna be some interesting stuff over on the Buccaneers. It's not gonna be as bright as the last 3 years. We might end up with Baker Mayfield, you know what I'm saying? And I do not want that. What we got next? Drake to court for XXX. So this one's getting weird. I'm gonna get into my media clout chase bag right now because that's what I'm gonna talk about. The media is going kind of crazy. The justice system is getting taken for a loop when it comes to media right now. It's getting kind of crazy. We're hearing a bunch of stuff that I would never in a million years think what happened in the courts when it comes to the stuff that's going on with celebrities nowadays. To get more specific and stop beating around the bush, XXXTentacion, was murdered. Maybe like I don't know how long ago it was now. Maybe 3 to 5 years back. And we saw what happened. We saw he was going to get like he paid for a motorcycle or something. He got ambushed on the way out and was shot and robbed. And it was all on video. And the guys actually ended up getting caught, and now they're in court. And the defense lawyer is trying to connect Drake and a whole bunch of other celebrities, the Migos, anybody who had beef with XXXTentacion or any kind of words for XXX, and try to call them to court to try to get, put them in jail for something. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me because you have the guys who's actually performed the actions in jail. So I don't know what you get for by trying to call these people into court you think may have had something to do with it. Bro, you did what you did. These people didn't contact you. These people don't know you. I feel like it's kind of clout chasey by the defense lawyer to try to get these guys into court just to show up. Like, I don't know. Is it an opportunity for like, is it a picture moment? Is this a last wish from the defendant? The defendant's name is Dedrick Williams, I guess, who is just trying to connect lyrics from a time where XXXTentacion and Drake were not seeing eye to eye, I guess. I don't know exactly what happened. I know the lyrics that Drake said that people are trying to connect to the killing, but I think it stemmed from XXX saying that Drake stole his flow after that Look at Me song came out. But Drake is kind of known for when songs come out that are really popular, kind of adapting that style and kind of using it for a little bit for songs and then kind of moving on when the next thing comes out. I mean, I don't blame him for that. I think it's smart marketing wise. Like, shit, do what's hot right now. It's gonna make you the most money. If people are listening to it, just kind of do your own thing, but like, shit, go in that direction too. People doing music all the time. If it's the house music that's popping right now, everybody's gonna make a house song. If it's Afro beats that's going on right now, people are gonna make an Afro beat song. So I think it's kind of weird for him to use that little line that XXX says about Drake stealing his flow and trying to connect, if he held his lip on that live, he'd be alive again, and like a bunch of lyrics that kind of relate to what kind of relate, but it's like these internet detectives is kind of crazy. You're accusing people, they're accusing the Migos, Joe Budden, like academics, like a whole bunch of people that XXX didn't like. They're trying to kind of dismiss what Dedrick Williams did by saying Drake had beef with him too, so it could have been him and not me. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. For this lawyer, I think he's probably gonna lose his job. Drake's lawyer already said he's not going to come to court. I mean, I just kind of feel like it's a picture photo op for the guy's court date. It's going to make the case more popular and bring more eyes to the case when it should be open and shut due to the camera, everything being done on cameras. You see the guys come into the motorcycle shop behind him, look at him, and then they get him when he's trying to leave the spot. Like, come on now. You know what I mean? It's like, it should be open and shut. It should be open and shut. I mean, if they're trying to say that Drake or any of these people tried to pay for this hit, that's crazy as well, because I don't know, a lot of up and coming rappers I feel like have said way worse to these artists and stuff that are in the industry, and for them to take, oh, he's biting my flow to the extent of killing somebody, that'll be kind of extreme. That'll be kind of extreme. And I don't know. I don't even know why it's a story. I don't even know why I'm talking about it, because that's what they wanted. They just wanted a whole bunch of people to talk about the case and talk about, I mean, RIP XXX for sure, for sure, for sure. But nobody deserves to die like that. Nobody deserves to be murdered like that. But they're making a mockery of the man's death by trying to blame it on famous rappers he might have had words with after the person sitting in jail after being caught on camera, actually killed the person. That's nuts. Stop naming people. Who you gonna call next? Motherfucking Scooby-Doo to the stand because Scooby-Doo didn't like XXX songs too. Like, come on, bro. Chill out with that. It's all like the cloudy stuff and the stuff people do. It's just nuts. Let's talk a little bit more about cloudy stuff. Ice Spice, Glorilla, two prominent female rappers in the game right now, two up and comers. I know they have a lot of fans, and they didn't really start that way. You know what I'm saying? It took them a little bit, not really, because they kind of seemed like they just popped right away. But I'm sure they had to do some grinding And it took a little bit for them to even get to the bubbling stage. So once they do make it to the bubbling stage, I feel like they start to feel themselves, and that's warranted. You know what I'm saying? You work hard to get where you are, especially as a celebrity. It's hard to gain notoriety. There's so many other artists in the world trying to do what you do. So for you to make it to this point, it's for sure a great thing. Kudos to you. But recently, Glorilla went to a show in Oakland. Supposedly, they paid her 30K to perform a song or something, show up and perform a song. But I guess Glorilla wasn't trying to perform a song, especially not for 30,000. She's saying 30,000 was just for a walkthrough, and in which, people at the club didn't like too much. A girl threw a drink and tried to spit at Glorilla, and just caused a bunch of trouble and put her name in the media for not wanting to perform, for taking money and just bouncing and not performing. It's interesting to me because, Glorilla, she is performing shit. She was on stage for the BET. No, it wasn't BET. It was the Grammys for the 50 year of hip hop stuff. So she is expected, if she's going to perform, probably the fee for bigger than $30,000. Yeah, Yo Gotti, because she is signed to CMG. She said, Yo Gotti said she don't perform for no 30K. Her prices, yesterday's price ain't today's price. She would never perform for 30K. So if she did take that 30K, it was for a walkthrough for sure. But I listened to the Joe Budden podcast. He had a little bit more introspective view on it. He said somebody took $30,000 from somebody and said they were going to do something for a quick come up, and it didn't go the way the artist wanted, and it kind of got sticky. Because he did mention it's tough to perform in Oakland. Oakland doesn't respect every artist. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, to get that crowd always into the shows and stuff. And Glorilla has that audience in Oakland. So for her to go there and not really perform, it's going to be smoke. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the promoter paid for money, and I guess they thought they were going to get at least one song out of it, and she didn't perform no songs. I feel like that is interesting to feel some type of way about it. But yeah, but just to try to discredit Glorilla, excuse me, they did go to social media and try to drag her name for trying to steal the money, and for the promoter just to want their money back, and stuff like that. It was kind of clout chasey as well. That kind of business goes on all the time, and they're just kind of trying to tarnish Glorilla's name for something that probably did go on. I'm not going to say it didn't happen, like I said, but it's probably somebody in her camp that accepted some money and said some stuff and didn't really explain it right to her. And when it came down to brass tacks, it didn't go so well over with the club. So it's very interesting, but it's also a case of public opinion again, because the media is going to blow everything up. And just people think they can do whatever they want to do. That's more so my thing. Back in the day, celebrities or even mini celebrities, you still kind of respected them. You didn't try to attack them, throw water on them, spit on them. It's just a lot. That's just a lot, man. It's going to make these artists not even want to come out and perform. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make the shows be the only place you'll be able to see them. And it's going to be millions of dollars to get these tickets for these shows because they're going to be scared to come out, because there's always shit that's going to happen. You always got to check in with somebody. You always got to make sure this is okay. They're not going to, that's how they make their money, but I'm sure they can make their money other ways, especially these bigger artists. Ice Spice, though, this one's kind of weird. She was in the club performing, and I don't know if it was in New York or not, but wherever it was, she was on the dance floor trying to performing with the crowd, which is kind of interesting to me because I would be on a stage or something, because you're a girl that's out there twerking and stuff, moving your body. A lot of these guys out here like that and are gonna be super aggressive towards you, especially if you don't have good security out there that can protect you, especially when you're amongst the people. And that's what happened with Ice Spice. She was performing some songs and some guys just came up and grabbed her arm and tried to pull her some direction, just kind of basically take her, which is really sketch. And the security guards did not do a good job of getting in the way, did not put hands on the people that's trying to grab her. Just, it was sketchy. It was really sketchy, and it was caught on camera. Again, back in my day, these celebrities were not able to be touched, and they weren't. You want to be relatable and be amongst the people, but come on now, be smart about it. If you don't have security that's with the she's, don't have them there. Don't go amongst the people. I know you want, your fans. You want to be relatable, but that's just too wild, too dangerous, and too risky. Especially you're on the come up, man. Like, just let that TikTok viral sensation stuff hit, perform on a stage, get you some security that'll slap somebody for trying to touch you, trying to kidnap you. It looked like some kidnapping shit that was about to go down. So Luckily, she got up out of there. Luckily, we have video of it so we can point out the people. And let's go. You guys, society, we need to change. We really, really, really need to change. Speaking of these next story, Busta Rhymes walking through the mall. Some girl sees Busta Rhymes walking. She grabs her booty, or she grabs his booty, and he turns around, throws his drink on the girl for him or for her grabbing his booty. Me personally, I think it's a little bit overreaction. It was a girl. Once you turned around and saw it was a female, you should have been like, excuse me, don't do that. If anything, hey, chill out. Like he turned around and threw the whole drink on her. Me personally, I would have thought it was some kind of like flattery, personally, hey, sexy type shit, but he didn't take it that way. I mean, of course, if it was the shoe was on the other foot and he did it to a girl and she didn't like it, it'd be a whole situation. But still, like you kind of like nix it in the bud when you throw the drink in her face. Like you add the extra layer to it, and it's just super unnecessary. Now she has a story to go tell TMZ, and it's Busta Rhymes throwing drinks on girls for his butt being touched, which seems kind of crazy. I mean, I get it if a guy touched your butt and you were really uncomfortable with a guy touching your butt, you were just like, hey, whoa, whoa, and just try to, be violent about it. I mean, yeah, not in a homophobic way, but it's like, come on now, chill out. That's assault type shit because pretty much it is. With a girl doing it, I guess it's the same situation. But me personally, as a celebrity, as a person of notoriety, as a person who I guess once in his heyday probably got catcalled by girls all the time, would just take it as flattery and not just turn around and throw a drink in a girl's face. I could be wrong. I could be really wrong and missing the point on this, but God. Um, yeah. Let's get into East Palestine. Enough of the silly stuff. Let's get into some serious shit. East Palestine, Ohio, and the train derailment out there is super serious topic, man. Like it's really crazy out here. First we got COVID coming out of nowhere, and now they're just like deliberately chemicals being shot into the water and into the air, which is nuts. So a train traveling on the tracks through East Palestine, Ohio, derailed and crashed. But it was crazy because the train was carrying some deadly chemicals that are really harmful to humans and anything around pretty much. Just happened to crash. Once the train derailed, it exploded and let all the fumes off and let the chemicals out. To fight the chemicals, they thought it was smart to douse it with fire to kill all the chemicals and kind of like subdue it was basically a baby nuclear bomb, they basically said. It was like baby Chernobyl when the train crashed, which was an interesting comparison because shit, why we have that kind of shit traveling on a trainway anyways, and where is it going? But anyways, once it crashed and blew up, in order to stop the chemical spread, they started to burn it, which made all the chemicals rise into the air, making a thick black smoke, which was probably stupid as well because all that smoke is going to come down on people. It's going to spread into the air, drop into the water, and it's going to contaminate everything. And that's what happened. Basically, they're struggling out there. The water is terrible. They can't even boil the water. It just gives off a bunch of sulfates and it's still super, 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 super toxic. Their crops are dying. Pets have been dying. People are getting sick. It's terrible out there. And there's no kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say reaction to it, but like there's no response. That's the thing. There's no response really. Though they did try to burn it and try to, keep the situation kind of contained, it hasn't really been talked about much on TV by the government at all. People are saying Mayor Buttigieg should be out there to talk about what's going on and what's going on. I think that's Buttigieg who they're talking about. I could be wrong. I'm not, again, let me just preface this by saying I'm not the political guy usually. So yeah, I don't know, but they're saying that the government figures that are supposed to be coming out there to help and get shit in order, they're not doing that. And again, this is supposed to be like a baby Chernobyl. A lot of the toxic chemicals that are coming off of the train and stuff are really deadly, and yet there's not really been any response team. There hasn't been any help for the citizens there in that small town whose crops and water is not drinkable, and they can't really do anything. The lakes are all contaminated. The fish are dying. It's crazy. People are throwing rocks into the river, and you saw the chemicals coming out of the water, the oily stuff on top of the surface. It would actually spew out of the water. It's kind of crazy. You guys should look it up, man. And it's like, was this done deliberately? We're all caught up on the Chinese air balloons that we shot down over Montana and the unidentified flying objects over Alaska. But man, we have a train that deliberately looked like it derailed There was a video of the train coming down the tracks. It was already on fire. Like the brakes were already on fire before the train actually derailed. So people are kind of suspecting maybe they dumped this shit on purpose, trying to, I don't know what they were trying to do or trying to accomplish, but to poison the people and poison the area out there. It kind of seems that way. And there's also another big chemical fire over in Kissimmee, Florida. A warehouse caught fire, a 5-acre warehouse that also contained a whole bunch of deadly chemicals, was also set on fire, and just spreading chemicals all to the neighboring neighborhoods all around there as well. So it's like 2 situations like that in just a couple of days. And it's just like, what? Like, what's going on? It's not being talked about. That's what's kind of crazy to me. We hear all about these Chinese air balloons. We hear all about these little things being shot down that were really nothing. But what about all these dangerous gases and stuff that are being spewed into these neighborhoods and people actually dying from this stuff, or it killing people's pets and animals and dogs and crops, and it's just wild. Sorry, I'm scratching myself a lot. I don't know why I'm doing that. But yeah, it's just a wild situation and wild stuff going on in the United States right now. And I feel like we need to take a closer look at it, man, because what? I mean, there's a BART right here. What if the BART has something on it one day and it ends up crashing for some reason, God forbid, and has some chemicals in their fire? Like, what? It's just happening one by one by one. And it's kind of getting kind of crazy to think about. Were the balloons distractions from what's actually happening? If I wasn't on Twitter, and you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't have even heard about this derailing of the train. You know what I mean? Besides secondhand, people actually have been hearing about it slowly. But shoot, man, Twitter is where I go to try to find stuff that's being hidden to where you can't really find it by just clicking on or opening up Instagram like that, or just opening up your phone and finding it right away. It's just crazy, man. What else we got? Um, red boots. I wanted to talk about fashion right now, man. Damn it. Besides the Best of Bias hats and all the Best of Bias merch you can get, fashion is getting kind of crazy nowadays, man. Um, me personally, I'm starting to forget if I even know what fashion is. When you look at these fashion weeks and these Met Gala days and what people are wearing and what's to be in the cool, or in the people are in the know wearing what they're wearing, it just seems kind of weird to me. It's like I would never wear that. So does that make me unfashionable? Starting with these red Astro Boy boots. Man, I don't know what the hype is with them. I don't know if, anime is really growing that fast to where people are like, let me get these big old red boots. $350 for some. If you've seen Astro Boy, Astro Boy wears these big, I don't know if they're red. I thought they were black, red and black or whatever. They go up to your, like, basically thighs, and they have a big round sole on the foot. Hopefully AKA can put a picture of them up there somewhere so you can see it if you haven't seen them. But people are out there buying those, putting them on their feet, trying to throw outfits together, looking hella crazy. The trends that are starting nowadays, the stuff that people try to do to be noticed, is kind of crazy, man. Like, I would never wear those red boots. What in the world would possess somebody to go buy some red boots that you probably only wear one time? What kind of crazy person would wear those boots multiple days, more than once? Like, maybe once as a gag, maybe Halloween or something, but I'll never pay $350 for no Halloween shoes. I mean, if you're rich and got it, I get it, but no. Trends are getting a little out of hand. Me and my boys are kind of talking recently on how people, especially celebrities and people in the know, try to drip nowadays. Guys' fashion is getting more and more feminine. It's like, I don't want to dress that way. But I mean, I was never the kind of guy that dressed the way everybody else is dressed to be cool. But it just seems like, I don't know, either people are getting way more comfortable with themselves, or people are just going to the women's section and being like, hey, that's in my size. I can wear that and make it look like it's a guy's outfit or something. Like the crop tops, the blouses, the NFL or the college football players wearing like the sports bras, the purses that people are wearing and carrying around the games and situations, the painted fingernails. I don't know. Maybe I just missed the boat on what's hot and what's not. Maybe I need to get no. I was gonna contradict everything I just said. I ain't going with the flow. I create my own waves and I'm riding them. It's just weird to me. I'm a guy, I'm simple. You know what I'm saying? Give me a good pair of jeans and some Jordans and a nice BBC or Stussy t-shirt, and I'm good. I'm a big streetwear guy. I don't need to get super dapper with the big old lion head on my chest or the big old teddy bear on my left pocket or the teddy bears on my shoes or the shoes that look like they came out the garbage can. Like what is up with all this, man? Why can't we all just be regular and and we just hype up individuality? I feel like people are just out there to try to conform people into dressing like them, kind of like, I don't know, trend set when they need to be, I don't know. I'm all for everybody being original and being themselves, but once you kind of cross the line and we see everybody kind of crossing the line too to trying to be like that person that has crossed the line, I don't know. It's kind of, I know I kind of sound stupid for saying crossing the line, but you guys know what I mean. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen it out there nowadays. Uh, Man, ASAP Rocky one. I like ASAP Rocky a lot, and a lot of his drip I did like early ASAP Rocky, but a lot of the shit that he wears nowadays is crazy. And people think he dresses like the best out of every. Me personally, I like Travis Scott's style. I like who else's style that I really mess with. The Migos be getting a little crazy sometimes too. I like LeBron's style a lot. LeBron is probably one of the people I look to and be like, man, that man is dressed really good all the time. I don't know about the little shorts with the suit and the little briefcase. That was kind of weird, but everything else, shouts out to his stylist. Shouts out to his stylist. Shannon Sharp stylist be having him looking sharp, but he be Shannon Sharp looking sharp. But he be looking funny sometimes. I ain't even gonna lie to you. And also Ryan Clark, whoever his stylist is, man, you doing your thing. Let's get back to dressing like that, nice and simple. We ain't gotta do the crazy shoot. I mean, if I was to have a style, I would be either Michael B. Jordan or LeBron. Those two styles are just timeless. You can wear them anywhere, and you won't get made fun of. You know what I'm saying? For looking crazy. I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe when you're popular, you have to kind of do those things to kind of stay in the good graces of the designers, getting free stuff, getting exclusive drip, to give you status or stuff like that. But man, the Met Gala is crazy. You remember seeing how yeah, what's her name? Doja Cat, she looked like a hot Cheeto. Like when it's less about fashion and then more about how crazy can you look. If you look, Sam Smith, y'all see that inflatable outfit that he wore wherever he was at? I saw that on Twitter recently. He looked like it was like a Missy Elliott slash inflatable, when the clowns make the little dogs out of balloons. It's nuts. Fashion is nuts right now. That's all I want to say. I'm gonna get off the high horse on that real quick so I can talk about the last thing on the menu today. I don't know. This podcast might have been a little short. I don't know, but I kind of feel like I went through a lot of topics pretty fast. I didn't even have a commercial break or nothing like that. But the last topic here, dual cameras. You thought I was gonna forget about dual cameras? Hell nah, not today, not ever. It's dual cameras. Ant-Man, Quantamania is coming out this weekend. You guys already know that it's coming out. So there's a lot of expectations from Quantamania that I got. This is first movie of Phase 5. It's Ant-Man. I like Paul Rudd. He's really, really funny to me. So I'm happy to see him actually have his movie hyped up instead of the first two people kind of hating on. But you know what I'm saying? I hope T.I.'s in this one. He hasn't mentioned it, but maybe he is. But yeah, this one's going to be cool. I'm ready for Jonathan Majors, King the Conqueror to show up. I'm hoping that it doesn't take really long for him to show up. Hopefully it'll just happen in the beginning. They go into the quantum realm and shit starts popping off right away. Because if not, I don't know. I was a little underwhelmed with Wakanda Forever as far as Namor goes and the villain in that movie and just how the story went. So I'm really excited to see if Quantumania can take it to another level. I'm excited to see what happens in these next couple of Marvel movies. I think a couple of characters are going to die. So it's going to be good to see that. We haven't really seen that often. We did see Iron Man die. We saw Gamora die. But this one may be a little bit more heartstringy because I think deliberately they're telling us that Ant-Man ain't gonna make it. He ain't beating MODOK and Kang the Conqueror. It's just not gonna happen. Sorry over here. I'm still looking at y'all. Don't worry about it. It's just dual cameras for me. But I'm back over here. Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. Kang is gonna whoop Ant-Man's ass. Bill Murray's in it. We're gonna see a lot. We're gonna see a lot. I don't know exactly what to expect, but I'm excited to see the quantum realm and the stuff inside of it. We got to see it a little bit in the previous movies, but this time we're gonna be really in there, and we're gonna see Kang, man. I know MODOK looks kind of funny as a floating head, but what do you expect? That's what MODOK is. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be a review. I'm gonna review the movie probably next week on the next episode. I'm gonna see the movie on Sunday. So expectations are really high. What are you expecting from the movie? Who are you expecting to die? Who are you expecting to introduce in this movie? It's gonna be a lot of shit going on. So I'm excited to share this with y'all. First movie of Phase 5. Let's get into it, man. Who's hyped? Like I'm hyped. Are you hyped? I'm hyped. Let's get into it. But I'm back over here. I'm sorry. I had to do my promos, man. Y'all know, y'all be liking my promos. But yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff that's gonna go on. I'm ready for the end credit scene because they're gonna introduce so much. I heard that they're gonna tie in Loki for the end credit scene. So I'm excited for that. What else am I excited for? Man, I can't really say I'm excited too much about the characters, man. Ant-Man is cool. I just like when he goes big. When he gets small, I'm still kind of tripping out about how his powers work. It's like, why go small? I feel like he's just the same strength as he is as a human when he goes small. So it's interesting to me how the people be hella flying around and getting hella hurt. I don't know. It's interesting. But when he gets big, that's pause. That's what I really like. When he turns into Giant Man and starts kicking shit and stepping on shit. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he does that in the quantum realm. It's gonna be interesting to see Wasp's whole role in this. Because I don't know. Janet Van Dyne and Hank Pym. I think they're probably gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen to them. They should be dead already because they're hella old. That's mean to say, but they are hella old, so they shouldn't even really be in this movie. But I guess they need the mom because she's been in the quantum realm for a long time and she knows how to navigate it. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. We'll see if I keep saying that. See if Ant-Man got some hands because different variants of Kang. He's been all around the world through different times, so he probably got hands, and he got those blasters, and and Ant-Man is coming to his like territory, so he's gonna definitely have the upper hand. I'm excited to see if I'm hearing that the 10 rings with Shang-Chi and them have something to do with Ant-Man. I said that before, so it's all exciting. I'm ready for it all to be tied in. I'm ready to share that with you once it does come out. It's gonna be a full spoiler next Friday. So hopefully you'll have seen it because it'll be a week. I gave y'all a week to see it. And yeah, we're gonna get into all that. But yeah, I guess that's all the topics that I had. I went through a whole range of stuff. Football, the Super Bowl, political topics, Drake and XXXTentacion. I don't know, man. I went everywhere and I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is the part of the episode where I like to let them know where you can find me at. You know where to find your boy. It's SAC_Lydell on Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. If you're looking for the podcast, Best of Bias, just type it in. You'll see us on the YouTube under that. Subscribe, share, tell your friends. We're trying to get more and more followers, more and more listeners. Again, last week's episodes got a lot of love, so keep showing that love. I appreciate y'all. If you're looking for the merch, you know where to find the merch. Hit me up. I got hats, dad hats, beanies, trucker hats, bucket hats. I got t-shirts as well. Y'all already know, so hit me up. I got plenty for y'all. The website's not up yet, but just hit me up. I got plenty. You see what's on my hair right now? You see how fresh this is with the electricity pins, growly on the front. Holla at me. It's all good. Don't even worry about it. If you ain't got yours yet, the time is the best right now to do so. Hit your boy up. It's the Best of Bias podcast. Again, I like to tell you guys this because we have 2 podcasts. Remember, if you guys weren't here from the early of the podcast, is the Best of Bias podcast with me and Hugo Twilight kind of pointing on there's episodes 1 through 97, I want to say. And then, of course, you're listening to this on the this Best of Bias podcast. You'll see Growly's face on the front. That's where we have episodes 98 through 152. So we've been putting in work. It's 2 different podcasts. It's just some stuff happened in the middle where I had to convert over to Anchor. Thank you, Anchor, for making this work all the time. I appreciate you because without y'all, this podcast would not be what it is today. So thank you, Anchor. I thank myself for being here every week, and I thank y'all for being here every week as well. New listeners, welcome. Old listeners, y'all still new to my heart. But yeah, that's about it, y'all. Go get you some Best of Bias merch. Go watch Ant-Man because we will be talking about it next week. Go get your concert tickets. Beyonce tickets dropped. Lil Wayne tickets dropped. I don't know if Drake and 21 Savage dropped yet. But yeah, man. Also, if you want to be on the pod, just let me know. I know a lot of the people. We had a lot of newcomers in this last podcast week, so I still have a lot of guests. I want to show y'all a lot of people who need to be on the podcast. Beautiful Struggle need to get themselves on the pod and promote their biz and let you guys know where to find all their stuff. But for right now, it's just me, Lydell Dinero. We'll have plenty of guests next time. I know Jen wants to be back, but she's in Texas right now. Thank you again, Chelsea. You had an incredible episode. 50 views in 2 days. It's wild. The most views I've had in 2 days so far. So let's keep running it up. Keep showing love, and not just love when girls are on the episode, guys. Stop being pervs. I'm just kidding. Love y'all. The Best of Bias family. This is the part where I let them know where my theme song is at and where it's at. It's right here. All right, then, y'all. It's always love. It's the best of Bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of Bias. Best of Bias. Yeah.